Namaste everyone. So today I wanted to make for you one more short video about Varuna. Not only Varuna as Aditya, also Varuna as the god of Shatabhisha Nakshatra, but Varuna as god of karma, and god of the law of cosmic balance. Because this is probably one of the most misunderstood gods, in fact. If you actually go back to the Vedas, you read Rig Veda, for example, and you read there about Varuna, sometimes he's addressed as actual king of heavens, He's addressed as very beautiful, very handsome god, god of atmosphere, god of clouds also. But then when you actually go, to later scriptures, to the Puranas, you see Varuna depicted as being ugly, deteriorated, protruded teeth, in general, his image is not that beautiful. And why is that so? If you think about the fact that Varuna himself, he's the god of cosmic law of karma. He's the lord, of cosmic law of balance, And if you think about Vedic times, especially Satya Yuga, Golden Age, or all these yugas in which, humans were more aligned with nature, they were more aligned with the divine, they were also more respectful to the natural law of balance. They were more aware that if they're going to commit some action, they're going to get a reaction, This is why, they portrayed Varuna as a very beautiful god, because in fact, they didn't need to be afraid of Varuna, you see. Because their own actions came from the, this space of their own inner purity. They didn't need to be afraid of Varuna at all. Because you see, law of karma in its essence, it's completely neutral. It's neither good, neither bad. Only in our times we tend to demonize, a lot, the law of karma. This is why we demonize Varuna as well, and this is why, these later scriptures also demonize Varuna a little bit. And why is that so? You see, because our own action deteriorated. Because we are not in tune with nature anymore. We don't respect nature anymore. We don't respect, even God anymore. And this is why, Varuna, his image over the years deteriorated. This is why over the years, we started to portray Varuna as a god to be afraid of, as a punisher, But the question is here really, is, law of karma a punishment? Is Varuna, a punisher as well? Does it punish us, or does it reward us? And does it really depend on him, or does it depend on our own actions? That's a good question, Which is why, I find it so, in a way, special. If you think about Varuna, he's actually one of the 12 Adityas, one of the gods of the sun. And he was actually considered the king of them in Vedic times. But to be more specific, because each of the Adityas is also responsible, for some part of the weather, some part of the atmosphere, some part of the quality of the sun. And Varuna Aditya, more specifically, he is actually responsible for the clouds, So that's a peculiar thing in the Vedas, that actually the Aditya, the sun god, who is responsible for the clouds, the clouds, that don't allow you to see the sun, was considered the king. So that is a very interesting thing if you actually think about it, if you think about the philosophy behind it, Because always in our lives, whenever, a cloud, is coming into our life, cloud that is obstructing, the light to manifest harmoniously in our lives, in form of obstacle, in form of difficult experience, in form of disease, we always try to avoid it, right? We try to find a cure for that, or we try to fight against it, or blame it. We have many, many different reactions for that. But in reality, if you think about, if you look at the sky, like right now, we are having clouds. We can't see the sun. So if you would rather pray to the sun god now to appear himself, or would you rather pray to the clouds and, bow down to them and kindly ask them, to move themselves. What would be more logical, right? Because sun is always there. It's not moving. It's always there, like the light of our consciousness. It is always there. It's always accessible for us. But only when the clouds come on our consciousness, this is when we don't see that. So thus fighting with the clouds, makes sense in the first place. Because you see, this is a very interesting thing and very beautiful metaphor to think about. Thus fighting with the law of karma makes sense at all. Because that is the very big mistake that I believe all of us are doing in our times. We try to fight with that. We try to overcome karma, burn karma. We almost think like it's a negative thing. But honestly, have you ever thought, at all why karma was created at all? Because karma, wasn't created to humiliate you, to make you suffer, to make you experience bad things in life. No. It was created exclusively to make you progress, to make you learn something. Which is why, you see, fighting with the clouds or pretending they're not there or anything like that doesn't really make sense. Fighting with Varuna also doesn't make sense because he's not here to humiliate you or to make you suffer. If he blocks the light so you cannot see it, then really, the most logical thing to do at that moment is to simply, bow down in front of that force with humility, with acceptance. And this is something, I over and over again always say to anybody who comes to my Jyotish consultations. Honestly, the most powerful remedy you can get is acceptance. It's surrender. And I am 100% aware that this is not the thing that anybody wants to hear, We always want to get a remedy. We always want to have this feeling that we have things in control. This is why majority of people even come to Jyotish consultations in the first place, isn't it? We want to have a feeling of predictability. We want to have a feeling of control over our life. But the cure really lies in surrender, not in controlling. And this is a beautiful and powerful lesson of Varuna Aditya. Because Varuna himself, when his fate was not to be the king of heavens anymore, but to be the king of netherworlds, to be the god of karma, to be the god of cosmic justice, the law of cosmic balance, he knew, that everybody will vilify him, because we humans, we always tend to blame somebody else for the results of our actions, or we tend to blame the karma. But I strongly believe, that if we really want to understand how karma is working, and if we really want to, even progress on our spiritual path, there's one concept we really need to put out of our mind, and this is that the law of karma is bad. Because it's really not, Law of karma is there to teach you something, to make you progress. It's, in fact, if you imagine the world without the law of karma, that would be a pure mess. Law of karma is this force which keeps everything in order, which keeps everything together. And if we honor it, if we bow our head, in front of it, if we accept it, then we also go through our life lessons, on much more easily. Because the law of karma is there to teach us something. And guess what? Once you get your life lesson, there's no need for, the experience to come back at you and to hit you again. There's no need anymore, to experience the consequence of your action or in any dramatic way, because you understood the lesson already. The moment you understand the lesson, you are not, a threat to the universe anymore. Because this is what reassures the universe that you will not commit the same mistake again. You will not violate the law of karma again. You will not hurt yourself or other person again. So you see, whenever we are approaching the law of karma, whenever we are approaching a Jyotish chart to do a reading, I strongly believe that this is very important to, in the first place, always, just bow your head down, and just be humble in front of that force. And instead of trying to fight with that force, honor it, accept it, surrender to it, and just understand your life lesson. And this is so beautiful, because if you think about God Varuna, out of all 12 Adityas, he is the one connected with the power of forgiveness. So if we also learn how to forgive, we release so much of karma, so many blockages. again, to forgive doesn't mean that you need to repeat the same mistake again, you know? No, but to forgive, just to be free from bondage, free from any karmic bondage with anything that is, trying to bind you, any situation, any emotion, any thought that is trying to bind you to this wheel of karma. And the moment we get this detachment, and the moment we, make at least our conscious effort to surrender, because honestly, I don't believe that any of us can truly, sincerely say that we are fully surrendered. Because it's not like you decide today that you will be surrendered and it's finished, It's something that you need to practice little by little in every life situation, and surely you will fail many times. But when you at least make this conscious effort, I assure you that karma will be lighter on you. I assure you that even planetary influences will be lighter on you. They must be, It's just the way it functions in nature. So the moment you honor nature, you honor the law of karma, you honor Varuna, and instead of seeing it as enemy or as something that must be overcome with countless remedies, this is the moment, where you really start to learn the true lesson. Because honestly, even the remedies, the mantras especially, so many astrologers would give you mantras for some things. They are there only to help you, Only to help you to change your own consciousness. Any single external remedy is out there to help you change your consciousness. Because the moment you change your consciousness, something clicks in your mind, this is when you get your karmic lessons. So you don't need to suffer anymore. And this is, more or less how it actually functions. So that's all from me for today. Just a little bit, I wanted to talk to you about Varuna. And see you next time. Namaste.